Certainly, Gunther talked about old Aaron Rodgers, which we will have to dive into today. He talked about reaching out to Aaron, not being able to get to him, and him wanting to basically be able to make something work, but inevitably he had to do his job and move on. We'll break down all of that with the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Packers fan Ty, getting a chance here, Gunther speak, I think is a good thing. I've actually enjoyed hearing from their side of it all. I think a lot of things can both be true.
Right.
And I think we've all ended at the same exact spot. But I liked hearing Goody at least answer a little bit and defend himself in the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like you mentioned, in situations like these, like there are truths on both sides. You know, like it's not like someone's going to say something and either Gutekunst or Rodgers is going to be like, oh, you know what? Actually, he was right. Like they both have how they feel. It's already been established. They both think they're right in what they did in terms of getting to this point. So they're really, it's like there are half-truths everywhere, and you kind of just take everything in and make your own decision.
And what we know is it appears as if both sides are, probably not working together again.
Yeah, it certainly appears as if that's the case.
I think we can, I think that's my big takeaway. So once again, don't want to talk about leverage, but I think it is going to be talked about over the next few days as the deal is probably made free between the Packers and the Jets with all the things that are being said publicly.
Mm-hmm.
All the things are being said very public by all parties.
Everyone hears it.
Okay, so that just, whenever you're trying to get deals, hearing other people are interested, good news. Okay, hearing other people potentially bailing out, good news. Because then it kind of, hearing everybody's like, nah, this is how it's got to fucking be pretty much at this point. Like, the deal is going to get done. I'll be excited to see what it's for. One half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs. I don't know if you sent it into the group or if you heard us chatting about it earlier. Somebody said 2 twos or something like that potentially is going to be what they're projecting the trade to be for Aaron Rodgers from the Packers to the Jets. Where'd that come from and how legit was that? And who knows that type of information?
That came from, who did that come from?
Charles Robinson.
Chuck Robinson, Yahoo. Yahoo Sports. Still a thing.
Still going.
Charles Robinson works for him.
Lives in a wood grain vehicle.
No, he was at the park in a wood grain vehicle.
Well, him and his dogs, whether they were living there or not temporarily, he was definitely living out of his car.
Charles Robinson did a hit on our show in between driving from his house to take his dog on a walk at a park. There were some pillows in the back, a cage in the back,
couple suitcases,
some clothes in the back. So obviously, as he's faced, incredibly kind of him to come on the show at this particular time. And all the boys could say is, oh, Charles is living in that car right there.
What's going on, Chuck?
You guys are right. He wasn't at all. You said it.
No, I said it today.
Yeah, you echoed it. You retweeted it.
Right.
You put a spotlight on it. Even though retweets do not endorse my own opinions, yes, they do. You need to know that none of us know that this is it.
Boom.
This was the situation. And
that toilet paper back there?
No, he was just taking his dog on a fucking walk, okay? Maybe it was toilet paper, so he had to pick up the poop off the trail.
Being a good guy.
Charles Robinson is the Yahoo Sports.
Yes.
Yahoo Sports still happening.
The face of it.
They had a report done. Sorry, we had to break that.
Yeah, about the 2-2s, which I thought, seems right.
Come
for me.
on.
In my eyes, seems right.
Joining us live on stage in studio for, I believe this is the third or fourth week.
Fourth.
This is number 4? Are we sure?
No, I think it's
number 3.
It's 4.
No.
Whatever the case, he's been fucking awesome. 14-year NFL vet, obviously an icon in every single culture in America.
Hell yeah.
He beat up a guy because he got to talk shit to Shaq. Ladies and gentlemen, Pacman Jones. Pacman, 2-2s potentially being talked about as being the deal. And remember, they just made a trade. The Jets just made a trade to acquire another second and to acquire another third, I do believe.
Sent a third.
Yeah, whatever it is. They did some stuff to add to their package that they could potentially present. How pissed off do you think Packers fans are going to be if it's 2-2s and if they get a lot less than what Russell Wilson got, Matthew Stafford got, and everything like that?
Well, I don't think they should be that mad. I think they should get 2 2s and a 3. I think that's a really good deal.
5 picks, that's a lot. 3 picks, that's a lot.
Yeah, 2 2s and a 3. The first round is out the category. Like, you're not getting the first round.
That's wild.
Look at Ty shaking his head, though. This is what the internet, the Packers fans on the internet,
They need to.
they are going to be so pissed.
Yeah, but the Packers have no leverage.
No, don't even say it.
GM you see what the GM come out and say, hey, look, we're ready to move on.
And it's a fascinating thing because Gunther listening to him speak, I like the way he sat in the pocket and took it. Like,
oh, yeah.
I think it's one of the first times I've heard him really speak about the situation. They've always decided to not say anything other than through emails to fans and everything like that.
Yeah.
They've kind of stayed away from it a little bit. I think personally, I might have missed some stuff. Potentially happens. A lot of stuff comes through the internet, although I try to see it all. I like the way he sat in the pocket, but it was very clear that they're both moving on.
Yeah.
So when you shake your head whenever Pac's like, you're not going to get to one because you got no leverage, are you just saying because you feel like just in good faith, in good business, it's Aaron Rodgers, it should be a one, and for what he's going to be able to do to your program, the worth is worth. Like, why do you think that you guys are in a position to potentially kind of still manage the expectations of this trade?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's leverage aside. Like, I don't give a shit who has the leverage. Like, it's Aaron Rodgers we're talking about here. Like, so as a fan, it's very tough to swallow. Like, when you're trading a first ballot Hall of Famer, a guy who's thrown 476 touchdowns for the franchise. Like, again, you know, yeah, two the second round picks, like that's not bad. And I guess you kind of see it from the other side where it's like, hey, we don't know how much longer he's going to play, because that's what's really getting me is like it could end up just being 1 second round pick. It's like, well, we don't know how long he's going to play. And if he doesn't play for, 3 more years, like we're gonna need something in return to kind of compensate for all this. So like, it has nothing to do
What
with
if he
leverage.
plays another 10 years? Just he goes over there, loves it so much. Oh my God.
At least 5.
This is a blast.
I think
What
that
if-
should be part of it, right? Like,
yes,
That's
of
what-
course. There'll
that's
be
what-
all escalators, I assume, on draft picks going forward.
And that's another report that they're having trouble dealing with the escalators of it, because obviously the Jets are like, no, we're not going to give you a third-round pick next year or the year after that could possibly be a first-round pick, because why would we do that?
Remember, he told us, he said the plan was win Super Bowl, go into darkness,
Tire.
sail off in the sunset.
Good run.
He was 90-10, he said.
That's nuts.
90-10 back to retirement, to coming back and playing. Then he goes in darkness, comes out and says everything has changed. We have a clip from Guti speaking yesterday about the conversations with Aaron. And it's fascinating the way he says it and what Aaron said, because both could still be true, we think. And I think he's 100% right at the end. He's like, I had to do my job. Which, how we got there. Go ahead and let's run this from the league meetings. This is via Matt Schneidman, obviously legendary Packers blogger, journalist, reporter, cover, analyst.
As we got out of the offseason or after the season, and we had a good conversation, and then we're going to have some follow-up conversations. And our inability to reach him or for him to respond in any way, I think at that point, then we just kind of I had to do my job and kind of reach out, and understanding that a trade could be possible, and see who was interested. But that shopping was never really part of that.
So when you gave him that contract extension, you've said publicly your intention was for him to not just play last season, to play beyond that. At what point did it shift to, okay, we need to move on?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously it was a disappointing season, right? And you come out of the season, you have a lot of conversations, not only with Aaron, but with the rest of the team, coaches, and everybody. And as you go through that process, you kind of get an idea of where you're going to move to, as a team, how you're going to go forward. And I think I was really looking forward to the conversations with Aaron to see how he fit into that. Those never transpired. So, there came a time where we kind of had to make some, decisions. So we went through his representatives to try to kind of talk to him where we were going with our team. And at that point, they informed us they would like to be traded to the Jets.
But you just said you did try and reach out to have those conversations, what you said. Okay.
Okay, so great hair, first of all, Goody. Yeah, I did not know Goody had great hair. I thought it was, when I saw it, I said, I didn't know. I didn't even fucking know, because normally sitting down, I think we don't really get a chance to see him. Great stone backdrop there. Him addressing the entire situation about, trying to reach out and then having conversations with coaches and what direction of the team, how he could fit in. Like the way he worded it, I'm interested to hear how Aaron took all those things that were potentially being said. And then him saying and he's got to do what he's got to fucking do. We all know his position. Like, he drafted Jordan Love to be his guy. Yeah. This is his world. Like, it could all work out in the end. What if he did reach out to him whenever Aaron was in that darkness? Like, it was impossible to get a hold of the guy. We reached out to his representatives. They couldn't get a hold of him. Fucking nobody could get a hold of him while we tried to do it. And at that point, we had to do our job. There's no way that's how this transpired, right?
No way.
No way.
No way.
Now, I will say also, I don't know if Aaron is the easiest human being to just get a hold of out of nowhere. Now, I don't know what it's like for Goody in business situations, but he is a guy who is on the record said, I like to check out. He will put his phone down, go read a book.
Yes.
He will go for a day. This isn't an hour or two. That's the type of human he is. There's no way he's talking about just in the dark. And I'm interested to hear, Aaron's take on this. I don't know if we'll get a bicker, which I don't think any of us want to be a part of, about, well, let me answer that. Let me answer that. But I'm happy Guti got to answer what Aaron said. And I'm intrigued to kind of see where the truth actually lies in their pack.
If you go back and listen to his conversation, he said he contacted the agent, and then the agent, he couldn't get in contact with him. Then the agent all of a sudden called him back and told him that he wanted to be traded to the Jets. That don't even make sense. He had a conversation with the fucking agent. Hey, we're going a different fucking way. Maybe Aaron came out the darkness and said, okay, I want to go to the Jets. Because he already said it on the show that 2 years, if he don't make MVP the last 2 years, you know, they was already talking
They
about
would
what
have
they
moved
were
on
going
to
to
Jordan
do.
already. Yeah, he said that the feeling, the writing was on the wall, which it was for all of us, which is why Ty Schmidt has that moment of Mad Mel Kiper literally on draft night as Jordan Love got drafted, where you said,
God damn it.
one of the greatest moments we've ever
Yeah.
had. His hair, as per draft spectacular norm, grown out long, blow dry hairspray, as if Mel Kiper's helmet has been placed onto your head, and that thing shaking as you were genuinely pissed off about being able to see all this pretty much. Now, we thought this, just like Aaron, and I assume this would happen a couple years ago. Like the turnover was going to happen much quicker because he played MVP for 2 years and was so damn dominant while he was playing in a brand new system, which he has described as vastly different than the one that utilizes like his talents. This one, he said, I believe he said a robot could do it or something.
Yeah, there's like a monkey or like a gorilla.
Yeah, a robot could do this one. Like, hey, on the snap, this happens. Like, there's not a lot of thinking in this particular offense. First season, he had a down year in LaFleur's offensive system, right? 25 and like 2 or something.
Yeah.
NFC Championship still, right?
25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This guy stinks. He's lost it or whatever. Then the next year he comes back and it's fucking like 38 or 37 or something. I forget.
Yeah, one of them was like 41-5 or
So
I don't
in that
remember which.
system, though.
Yeah,
Like, just had to
exactly.
learn a new system, had to do it. So as they were watching this all unfold, and Aaron just adapting to this much different style of football with a backup that was drafted to be his replacement with, if you think about how people probably assume Aaron's going to be, this guy will just want to get out of here. We'll be able to do this. Now here we are sitting at that moment of it all kind of coming to fruition. So it's interesting just to chat about the small stuff because I think like Aaron has alluded to it as well, where he said like it felt that way. And Goot obviously drafting the quarterback kind of hinted at this being the case.
Yes.
What are all their interactions have been like the last couple of years, you think? Like everyone around the building.
Hey, we got to put him in.
Yeah, you think Goody's thinking the saying that to the coaches?
We got to put him in. It's our investment.
Yeah, like that's his thought. That's a general manager's thought. And that's Pacman, who was in the NFL for 14 years in 3 different buildings.
Yeah.
3 different buildings, bunch of different front. Like any player you hear talk about it, it's like, hey, this was just writing on the wall. This is how it was going to go. But now we're kind of at the point where it's all coming to a head. Those day-to-day interactions between Aaron and Goody, what were those like, you know?
So bad.
I genuinely wonder what those were like the last few years. It had to be awkward.